4 meters from the path. How much more validation do you need than that? Good morning, my lovers. I'm in my garden, and circumstances might change in the future. You know, I'm gonna have to start looking after myself a lot more. I've been feeling really rough lately because of what's been happening, and my father's still in hospital, and I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future. But what I have been doing in the meantime is I've been studying the way I look for places to metal detect online with the computer program Quantum GIS, and I'm pretty sure now I'm at the point now where I can really show you. I can find you stuff. I can find stuff. It's amazing what I can do now. It's just mind-blowing. So what we're going to do is go over to the computer, and I'm going to show you what I'm capable of doing. You know. Oh. Right. What you're looking at here is a picture of the UK. All those white dots are historical coin hoards, Roman coin hoards. I've zoomed right out because I don't want to show the locations, okay, for the time being. So I'm going to uncheck that box. There we go. Now this is the area. Is that East Anglia? I'm not sure. This is the area I'm going to do. So we can zoom in on that area. Right. So I'm going to take that off. Right, so that's this is the county I'm going to do. Have I still got the county map up? Possibly, yes. So this is the area. So what is that area called? Not from over that way. So what I'm going to do is what's called least cost paths, and I'm going to show you just how brilliant these paths are. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to zoom in just to the little bit I've already done. Now each one of these paths takes the computer about 10 minutes to do it, to go through the algorithm. Now if I had a computer that had, like, I don't know, a couple of terabytes of RAM, I'm sure it would get through it faster and it wouldn't crash. You can't do, if you try and do a big area, it crashes. So it's a bit like, I got an old PC. So if we zoom in on this area here, so as you can see, I've started some of these paths out to sea. They are out to sea because this area is renowned for when the Romans, there's a lot of Roman camps all the way around this coastline, and this is the area where they first sort of landed. Well, not first landed, but they did land a lot here. They first sort of landed down here somewhere, which I could, you know, obviously do that area in the future, but for the time being there's a lot of big Roman camps around this coastline. So I'm going to zoom back in on this spot, and as you can see I started it out to sea and it chose a path in. So we zoom in on this one, look. Now obviously this coastline has got shifting sands, and maybe there might have been a bit of erosion as well. So we can't guarantee that this coastline is as it was 2,000 years ago. So this is the path coming in that I've generated, computer generated. So it comes in, look, and right at that point you've got a diversion. Now that is because the path is the least cost path, is you know, the natural least cost path are rivers, but the Romans used rivers more than they used roads, so they would have used the river. And the rivers, even though they're probably quite shallow and not very deep now, they would have been back then, because nowadays all these fields have got silt runoff and they've blocked up the streams. So these rivers and streams would have been much larger and wider back when Romans used to use them. So if we put on the river one, there we go, there's the river. This is the guide that's telling us where the rivers are, and you've got a three-way junction of the river and a three-way junction of the least cost path. And you can see it crossing. It crosses there, look. Crosses there, comes in, and goes off that way, goes off that way. So this is a prime location for metal detecting, right there. Now, another thing we can do is we can put on a flood zone. Now, this is a little bit more labour intensive for my PC, so hopefully this works, because I didn't prior check on this one. Alright, yeah, it's building up the flood zone. There we go. It stops at that road, unfortunately. Oh, no it doesn't. So anywhere along this flood zone, is it flooded? It does flood in the winter time. A majority, now I've found something like 20 coin hoards, because I've been researching this, 20 coin hoards that have been found on or near rivers very close to or within the floodplain. That is a fact. Let's try the other one, see what that does. Oh, it's still building up. So the dark blue is the deeper flood, and this pale blue, flood zone 2, will be the shallower area. Yeah, it's building up slowly. Like I said, I need a faster computer. A couple of terabytes of RAM will do. There we go. So what I would normally do is just build them up one at a time. So there's one, there's the other. So it's done its thing in the end. Right, so we take those off. So there, we know that's a floodplain. In fact, I can see that there is a floodplain there. You can see it. Right, so how do we validate these paths? Well, there is a way of doing it, and it's called scheduled monuments. So I put that on. Look, right here, there are scheduled monuments along the edge of the path. Right here and here, they are on the edge of the path. Now this path going down through the middle has no scheduled monuments on it. Now I can put on Roman and Iron Age coins that have been found in the area. Put that on. There are none within that area. Right, what else could I put on? Nothing. So basically, this path is genuine, because why else would there be scheduled monuments right on it? Look, this one here even cuts through the scheduled monument, cuts right through it. How, you know, that is 100% validated, that path. Now here's the end point for the least cost path. This is where I ended it. So I did a point out to sea, the start point, and the end points, I put them on known Roman assets. So if we put arch on, there we go. Now I'll zoom in a bit so you can see it a bit better. So you can see that right there, here is the end point. And if I put on the arch, see a little dot appearing, disappearing, that's where I ended the path. So the Romans were travelling along this least cost path to that point. So anywhere along this edge, we zoom in a bit, there, and I'll put on so you can see where the floodplain is. Look, you can see where the fields end, so you can see that that is a floodplain. And if I put back on the flood zone, there we go, because I've zoomed in a bit, it's a bit quicker. And we put on the other one. I think the pale blue one might be the better one. So if we zoom right in, look, this spot here is out of the water, out of the flood area, and right here. Now 2,000 years ago, was this riverbed or was this a river? So anywhere where this land here is kind of just bunching in a bit, I reckon that would be a good place for detecting for a coin hoard. It really would. Let's take that off because I'll be zooming out. So that is just one area that I've done. I've done more. I've done all these over here. We zoom in. So this least cost path, I started off at that point right there, and it's created some paths to points, look, and see how they end there, look. And then right here, this path, look, goes right past a scheduled monument. Now I could go and check to see what kind of monument that is, but I have discovered that sometimes these paths go past Bronze Age, you know, barrows, right through barrows all over the place. So they're not only Roman, these paths, these cost paths, they can go way back. So I use the scheduled monuments as a guide to which paths are at least the most genuine. You can see this one, look, this is a river, but it goes past a scheduled monument there. So that one didn't work as well. This blue all showing you where all the rivers are. So we zoom out. Oh, it's crunching because I've got scheduled monuments on. Right, so these were just the end points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go round the entire coastline of this area. There, that county, where's the county border? There it is. So I'm going to go round this area, right? And then I'm going to start creating least cost paths inland. Because the Romans would have gone inland further. Now I'm going to see if I can find next the Roman roads. Alright, I found the Roman roads and I've put them in as green. So these green are the known Roman roads. The least cost paths are, you've got to think of them a bit like B roads. They can date way back to the prehistoric, the Bronze Age. So if we take off the DTM, then we zoom in on this spot, and you can see that these endpoints are actually quite close to the Roman road. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because this least cost path is crossing the Roman road. So again, there, oh, might not be there. There's a road. Oh, it's not following the road. It's all right. So where it crosses the road. So this could be a Roman B road, and it's crossing the main Roman road. And then further down, it's crossing it here. Ooh, what's that there? Oh, it's just a tractor's gone round a lamppost. And then it's crossing it here. Look at how dark the soil is there, look. And now down here, it's crossed it there, look. So these are all really good spots. You know, this is the B road coinciding with the A road. And another one down here, look. Crossing the road, and then over here. Any crop marks in the fields? Possibly crop marks, look. So where these roads are crossing, there could be Roman activity. In fact, why is that bit of that field, so you know, you've got to look at these things, why is this section of field, why is that not being ploughed? Let's put on the flood map just to make sure it's not flooding. No, it's not flooding. The rivers is on. Try the other one. No, that doesn't flood. So this section of field has been, for some reason, is not being ploughed up. Probably because of the road crossing at that point. See how useful this is for metal detecting? And this is just one area. Let's go further over. No, it doesn't cross there. Oh, it crosses there, look. Weird that they got two Roman roads right next to each other. Still. Yeah, look. It crosses there and it crosses there. So these fields here, wherever that is going to be a really good spot. And not only, you know, is it a really good spot? If I put on the scheduled monuments, are there any scheduled monuments right on? Yes, there is. Look, there's one right there on the path, right next to the path. So this path is validated. So anywhere on this path, and look how many miles it's going, like miles and miles. And then you've got a junction in the path, so it goes off one way and then goes off the other. Can we see any crop marks on this one? Let's bring up Bing Maps, because sometimes Bing gives us more crop marks. See, so there's Bing. If I drag it down to where Google Earth is, right? So we got Bing, and I got. So that's Google Earth. This is Bing. So sometimes it will show up crop marks. So there we've got a junction. Can we see any crop marks in the field? Possibly there. Possibly there. I'd have to go on to Google Earth proper and go through all the slides. I'm not going to do that now, but I'm just showing you how useful this is. Right, I'm going to do a few more paths, and they take about 10 minutes for the algorithm to do its thing, and this one didn't work very well. I set it off out there, and the path went through the ocean into this point. Maybe that is a better entry point. But you can see here, those are end points. See how it stops there and there. Look. This is Branadunum? Branadunum. Time Team. They did a big. If I find it, I'll put it in the description. They did a big TV program about Branadunum. There's a great, huge Roman fort here, but it's a bit tricky to do a least cost path to it because it's like right on the coast. 2,000 years ago, there might have been more land out here, literally. But then the paths they go off. So they head off down in this direction. So at that point there, look, that could be a really good spot. You've got two intersecting paths, and then further on down we've got another two intersecting paths here. So another really good spot. Oh, look at that there. Ooh, there's a little path going through there, and then there's these dark splodges along the edge. You can just about see something going through there. When I do the least cost pass, I have to comprehensively do all of the sites. So these are just the sites that I've gotten. What I could do is I could go over to the Heritage Gateway, and I could systematically go through that looking for even more Roman sites, because these shapefiles, they don't give everything. But for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the coastline, creating least cost paths all the way. I'm going to take off that crunching. Go all the way in the coastline, putting the points out to sea, and getting them to hit these Roman assets, for want of a better word, inland. So we can see where the Romans came inland from the sea, probably carrying a lot of weaponry, dropping loads of stuff. They were a bit probably dishevelled and stuff when they came in, and we'll see the paths all the way around the coastline. And then I'll have to start doing paths inside this area. It's going to take days to do it, but I reckon it'll be really good. And then once I've found some really cracking spots, I will create a PDF file, and I will put the grid references of those cracking spots in the PDF file. Wouldn't that be worth something? Wouldn't that be worth having cracking spots to go and dissect? I think it would. This is going to seriously validate this least cost path. Right, so a Roman coin has been found at this grid reference. So I've copied that grid reference, right, copy. I'm going to go back to my program. So here's the program. So this is the path that I reckon is completely validated, because you've got maybe something Roman here, right on the Roman road, and this path crosses at this point. So now I'm going to put in that grid reference, and I'm going to click enter on my keyboard right there, and then we'll zoom out from that point, and there's the path. You know, literally there is the path. Right, so it's about there-ish. I will grab me measuring thing. It was about there. We got it on meters. 4 meters. 4 meters from the path. How much more validation do you need than that? Right, so what I will do is, what I will eventually do is I will create a picture. I can save these pictures, and I will put this crossroads in, give a grid reference, and I'll create a PDF file with the picture, and then list the grid references below the picture in a PDF file. That's what I'll do eventually. So this is just a little short intro video as to what I'm going to do, and now I'm going to spend the rest of the day creating least cost paths all around that county, whichever county it is. Put it in the description below which county that is. I'm going to do this one area of the country just to show you what I can do, and then if you put it in the comments below, what area do you think I should do next, and the one with the most thumbs up, I'll do that area. Not my own area, mind. I've done that to death, and I have found some amazing spots to look at.